Standing up here on my center of my pivot, admiring the corn. This is the field I just bought, and we are, I'm out here with an irrigation guy. He's gonna run what they call a pig through the line. It's supposed to clean out all the foreign material in there. So I'm waiting here at the middle of the field. I had to wade through lots of corn to get out here. And then he's gonna call me when he turns the pump on, and we'll see how much dirt comes out of here. Well, we pushed a bunch of stuff out. There's the pig. And we're gonna flush it a little more.
Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the three Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video.
Almost got this one loaded. Alright, last 2 bales. There'll be another load right
and others, especially when you're healing from past hurts or carrying today's struggles.
Full load going out. Somewhere on the side of the field. We'll have another load later today.
Alright, weed harvest done. Time to put some hours on the sprayer. Need to get ahead of the planter for double crop, but needed to get over some bean acres first. I suppose it's been over a month since we planted Greg's beans, so they really needed sprayed. Probably should have sprayed them when we sprayed those other beans like a week ago. Anyways, while I was over here, I scouted the other 2 fields that are close by that were planted later. I found enough, especially little weeds, which is when we want to get them anyways, that I decided to spray these fields as well while I was here. I think it's already almost 2:30 or something. A good time for the dentist. Wow, look who I'm gonna follow home. I should have got in front of him. It's Kendall.
All right, getting some more soybeans sprayed. These are our later soybeans, but already some weeds coming. The drip irrigation system is running. They are testing for leaks. NutriDrip is going around and fixing the couple leaks from the install. But the river screen is running. This is a river screen pump just like the one that we put in the river for our irrigation pivot out of the river. It's a little different because it's designed for a pond instead of the river. A little different model, but same concept. The screen spins. It's pumping about 500 gallon a minute. We got all this water to put on all these beans.
So some of these are up at the bunk eating. That's kind of the way it works. There's some aggressive ones and some that are back there. I'm gonna go take the ones that are back there that are thin and put them in this smaller pen over here.
There's Greg up on the hill spraying. He just stopped for some reason. Hope he's not having problems, but I don't know why else he would have stopped. Anyways, I am switching some shuttles around. I was just spraying some soybeans yesterday and I didn't think I would need to do the rest yet, but then I scouted the field and it was pretty bad. So we're finishing this field and then I'm gonna go back and hit those soybeans.
Getting some wheat stubble sprayed to plant to double crop milo.
There goes Dad with another round of bales. I'm off to plant some more milo.
Been spraying some soybeans, and it looks like the planter is going to plant some double crop milo.
So the ground was pretty wet when we cut this. It was our second to last field, but this is one of the reasons why we cut it when we did, was all these pigweeds come up from underneath. And you gotta get finished with wheat, otherwise you gotta cut through pigweeds. So Evan was asked to come run grain card for another farmer. They had about 5 days of wheat harvest left, so we decided to let him do that. But it does mean that we need to get some straw baled, and he did say he could work mornings for us. But it does mean that I probably need to get the straw baled before more weeds come. So I'm doing it out here in the dark on a Saturday night.
Are you mooing at the cows?
I don't want to keep building it.
You see the cows steal?
Cows.
You two are so silly. So silly. Careful, you're gonna hit your head. Who is that? Alaska. He's so sweet.
What animal is Alaska?
A cat.
A cat? What does a cat say?
Meow.
Meow, meow.
So I got all my chores done besides these new cattle pens, and we are going to work them this morning. It did rain on Monday morning. So far the one rain gauge I've heard of was 0.3. So we're not going to be able to plant today. But I was already planning to work these anyways because we have 2 days in a row of like 85 degrees. And it's always better on the cattle to work them when it's below 90 degrees. I'm going to get these worked this morning. Good set of calves, hopefully. Last one, and we're done working them. We got 89 out of El Dorado last Thursday. So I hope they'll go right to eating. They're eating already 15 pounds this morning. Well, I haven't fed them yet this morning, but they were eating 13 yesterday. We'll go to 15 today. That is 15 pounds of ration plus hay, of course. It makes it easier for them to switch over. He did buy me one set of 20 off the cow. They were pretty big, but they all looked full today after 4 days here. Still need to look over the prices exactly, but pretty excited about those ones, plus the ones we bought right at the end, well, before wheat harvest, and gonna start buying pretty regular now.
So I'm out here spraying today some soybeans beside a creek that floods easily. This creek came out of its bank, that big rain. Well, McPherson had like a crazy amount of rain. I'm guessing it was that rain. They had a lot south of here, and this creek came out of its banks. So I'll show you. So you can see all these clumps of residue. That's from the creek running across here. I think all of this was underwater up till, well, where the clumps end. Yes, I had to help my Band-Aid out with some black tape because it was falling off, and that's what I had in the cab. So you can see it washed, residue and piled it up. Are struggling to come through that. Gonna be, it's not the best, but some of them are actually coming through. So hopefully it won't be very big blank spots. It's not enough to come replant. But then also what we run into, there's little patches. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these weed seeds washed in with the floodwaters. Really bad patches where this water ran across in places, because I think they settled out. They basically washed in, and then your residual is kind of gone. They're pretty small everywhere, so we're getting them at the right time. You don't really want them to they get bigger than that really fast. That's a good time, or smaller, to spray them.
Doing some more spraying today.
Ever since wheat harvest ended, this is pretty much what Nathan and I have been doing. We've been covering all the bean acres, some of the wheat stubble that we're gonna double crop. And so, I think after today we'll be caught up with the sprayer, at least for the moment. There's always stuff to be done with the sprayer. But then hopefully we'll get to double cropping. It rained another quarter inch last night, so it's a little wet to double crop, and has been for the last couple days. We've still been dealing kind of from the after effects of all those rains during harvest. It's a little wet to be planting, a little soggy on top. So we haven't really done any double crop yet, but Dad and Kendall have been catching up on cattle stuff, as I'm sure you've seen, and moving bales. But Nathan and I have been mainly focusing on spraying, getting the irrigation ready to go. If it ever stops raining, maybe it'll just rain all summer and we won't have to irrigate.
Well, I think we got the goodie out of that tire. And this one as well. It's showing some quarts. I don't remember if we changed it before wheat harvest or after wheat harvest, but same as those pivot tires, they're done too. Retired. Got a new flush of pig weeds in the pens at my dad's. So there's 20 head of fall cows down here eating them. I'm gonna give them just a little bit of silage here. They're rooming a little full because that protein from the pig weeds moves right through them. Next paddock for the spring cows, well, spring pairs. Check a look at those clouds. They just look really popping today. There's that new bull. He's probably gained 100 pounds out here. The cow still thinks she wants something else. That one I'm hoping to make a cow out of. Some nice looking calves out here. Got straw for days. Okay, the straw baler is about done. My dad is moving off bales, and I think he has at least 2 or 3 semi-loads left here. I need to get the M7 back on the swather. So we got some more grass hay to do.
Well, been spraying all day. Haven't filmed much, but I'm waiting on Greg in the tender semi, and there he is. So this will be the last load for today. We should have the planter and drill running tomorrow, I think. So we've been waiting for the ground to dry a little bit. We've also been planting some milo for our uncle. We've been trying to keep up with the sprayer. Got kind of behind with the beans. Now we have irrigation that we need to get started. So we started doing irrigation this morning. Had a couple hiccups, so hopefully tomorrow morning while it's cool we get that going pretty well.
Just brought Nathan some more spray out on the sweet stubble. We're going to be double cropping milo here. He's probably already talked about it. It's a quick trip for me. Came out, refilled him. Now heading to the next field.
Time to sort up some heifers. 2 pens of heifers this morning, pen 6 and pen 9. I'm gonna take the big ones off.
Come off there, number 16.
You mean that he's bigger or smaller? Oh, okay. So we got 122 in these 2 alleys. It's almost 2 loads. These are the kind of the last ones we kind of peeled off. We're gonna add a couple on to make them full weight loads. Okay, we ended up with 126 to sell. That'll be 63 on a truck. Weighing a little above 8 and a little below 8. We'll see where they end up. My dad's gonna put them back away in their pen with his horse. my total pounds fed per day is really going to go down when those 126 leave here in 8 days. And so we got to buy some more cattle. El Dorado is closed the next 2 weeks. Salina has been closed, but the day we sell these, I'm hoping to sit in at the Salina sale barn and get at least 50. And then if I have another order buyer give me another pot load, then we could replace those 120, hopefully even add to the number a little bit.
Putting the river screen out on the river, back in the pump up.
Fueling up, another beautiful day. So I feel like I barely had time to film. Trying to stay ahead of the drill and planter. I'm done with all the planted acres now, or the acres we're going to plant with the planter. I have a pretty good start on what needs to be drilled, but I had to squeeze in some other wheat stubble that's going back to wheat because the weeds were so bad, which is partly why it's going back to wheat, is so we can get on top of some of the seed bank of the weeds out there. We're getting a lot done, and hopefully tomorrow morning we start irrigation. At least that's how it's going in my head.
Filling up the planter with Milo seed and fertilizer. Got that part of the field done. Today I'm gonna be going that way toward the home place. And this will all be under this pivot circle that we should have at least 2 or 3 rounds of water on, maybe more. We've got our handy dandy Diesel International flatbed X grain truck, X silage truck, X manure spreader. It can tilt up and drain that completely. And then we've got this air hose plugged into the truck that we can run air through the line so that it's not so heavy to put back on the trailer. Kendall over there putting down some grass, or maybe it's Dad. I'm not sure who it is.
Okay, putting this bag under the second tank. We go drill some forage to graze.
Kendall just got here with the air seeder. Mom brought me some lunch and some barbecue beef pizza, some peppers. We're making progress. Beautiful Kansas sky today. About to have 75 feet of planting power. Once that gets going, it's going to plant the corner of the pivot. Under the pivot's going to be Milo. Over on the corner, we're just going to do some forage blend and graze.
Putting in this forage crop. I can't remember whether it costs like $28 or $32 with the treated stuff, but it'll make good cow feed later. It borders this pasture, so we got a pasture on this side, pasture on this side. We can just put one hot wire across this corner and have a 23 acres extra paddock, essentially, to this pasture for the spring pears. Over there by that pond right now.
Alright, doing a quick seed fill by myself, so I'm gonna lift this pallet of seed up to the top of the central fill there. Make it a little easier on myself. Filled up with seed again. We're gonna keep going.
We fill water and keep our some chemical storage up here by the old upright silo because this has the fastest water hydrant. Partly because Dad used to do inoculant or something while he was filling the silo. It's a bigger line coming here, and the pressure is just better because it's closer to the pump pit. But there's Greg going over the big pivot. He's almost done, it looks like. Actually, no, I think he's just going around the outside of this side. I think he still has this whole side hill because he just filled seed, but he looks good down there. Look at that beautiful view.
There goes Kendall. Must be done with the field.
Pouring in 10 bags of this stuff. This is a BMR variety of sorghum sedan. I've done that whole part of the field. Just have to get from here over to the neighbor's bean field. I will probably have to add in a bag or two of seed to finish. I've been scrolling on Superior's livestock auctions while I have my GPS going and looking at calves to buy. Most of them are for later delivery. Done with this 45 acres. We will most likely chop it, but there's a chance we hay it. That's why we put in the variety that we did. Now it's time for the 100 acres across the road from my house that we are going to graze. So that will get a different mix than what is in the tank right now. Based on what the market is telling us, and for what we feel like, we have a high demand for feed acres and less demand for grain crops. Because cattle are worth a lot more than grain at the moment.
All right, finishing up the field. Took me about the whole day, but got it done.
All right, I have everything hooked up here at the pump site. So we'll see if the engine wants to start and see if we can get it primed and flush the line. Probably shouldn't have filmed my very first try. We had a little oof with our suction line. So I got it started. I think it's sinking a little, so I think we're filling up with water. We had this shut-off, safety shut-off installed. So on the Murphy switch, there was a wire with a poor connection, so it took me a little while to figure it out, but we'll see if we can get it primed now. First try today! Looks like we have a little pinhole over there. I'm getting a truck wash. Alright, we got her well flushed because I started driving up here, saw that it was already pouring out water because I'm by myself.
All right, this cow is still up by herself. I noticed she's got a slight limp to her. Her calf is staying right by her, and she has plenty of grass and water here. But I set up the catch pen over there. He might have sired over 100 calves for us in his time here since 2019, running both the spring and fall herd. So he's done a good job. We just have a lot of his heifers. And he's old, and the bull market is very strong. He's gonna sell for more dollars than what we paid for him in 2019. As far as I know, I think. Well, I didn't get to move much straw because Dad was doing it while I was drilling and stuff. But there's 10 bales here that'll be a trailer plus the waterway that we didn't put down until after we harvest. This waterway you can't really reach from the road unless the weed is cut. So I'll put these 10 bales together, get them off so this field can be sprayed.
All right, well, I just got done with what is hopefully our last fertilizer fill for plant 2025. We do mostly liquid fertilizer here just because of we have a good supplier for it and we're set up to do it. It is sometimes a pain, but I'm sure dry sometimes is, and I know anhydrous sometimes is. Fertilizer can kind of be a pain, but it sure makes things grow well, and so we like to do different practices to decrease fertilizer use where we can, but it still helps the bottom line. So anyways, hopefully this is our last fill. This is our last field to plant, I think. Well, we have Greg's sunflowers. I actually forgot about that. We usually have a little left over. We'll put that on Greg's sunflowers. Feels good to almost be done. It's July 3rd, so hopefully we can, finish here without any breakdowns and celebrate the 4th of July and being done with the planter anyways. We'll still be seeding with the air seeder some forage blends and stuff for the cows. This feels good. Greg got this started this morning. I have about 55 acres left, I think. Putting it in. Only 36 acres left. The planter looks like it's June. It's dirty. We've got a little oil leak, but it only leaks when we fill it up, so haven't fixed it yet.
Nathan's about done with that field, and that'll be it for the double crop Milo. I think we've still got some double crop forage to drill, but it's fun putting the flag on there day before 4th of July.
Greg brought me some supper, and he's taking the fertilizer truck because we got it empty. He's taking it back to his place. He also came and drone filmed me a little with this flag. It looks like I should get done before dark. I just need to make it to that road. Well, it's 8 o'clock, but it's long days right now, that's for sure. There she is, folks. See any spots I missed? Let's hope not. I think we dumped too much seed in, but it'll be alright, I guess, because I didn't ever run out, so I guess I'll find out. Cloudless sunset tonight.
Up and drive over bumpy, muddy roads. This is a loader. It scoops things up in a bucket to move them somewhere else. There's a big four-wheel drive. This is a giant tractor. Its wheels are taller than a person. Giant tractor is wider than 3 cars.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.